All content and material used in this video are for purposes of review and commentary under terms of fair use. Also, the following views expressed in this video are of personal opinion. Viewer discretion is advised. Oh, and also spoilers. Well, that doesn't really matter. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to StormKing's final impressions of Spring 2011 animes! This video is going to be somewhat informal, yet somewhat formal, whatever, it's going to be semi-formal overall. But basically, this video is going to be telling you guys, my subscribers, my overall thoughts, opinions, and just basically if I liked a certain anime or not that I watched in Spring 2011. Starting off with A Channel. Now, A Channel overall, I couldn't get into it. Well, I did finish it. In all honesty, I did finish it, but overall, there was nothing too special about it. The dialogue and its jokes, and it was just very meh. It was very, if anything, a half-assed anime. I mean, the jokes weren't funny. Well, it had its moments overall. It was like a K-On!, take out the music, reduce the quality of the animation because it's not Kyo-Ani, it's not Kyoto animation, and replace it with really weird dialogue and, well, awkward dialogue, and yeah, just overall, I didn't find anything special about it. It was an average anime at best. You know, in all honesty, it was average. So, A Channel, you're just something that I watch if I'm bored. That's the best I can say. It's something that you watch if you are bored. So, sorry A Channel, you weren't that special. You were, in terms of my anime list, a 6 out of 10, at the most. C, The Money of Soul and Possibility Control. Now, this was a really, really unique anime. It was really, really good, and I give it my thumbs up as being another one of the good, best animes for Spring 2011 overall, and you guys should go watch it. Now, when it came to C, I thought it was going to be sort of like a battle anime, a shonen battle anime, in which, you know, it's just like almost like Pokemon or Digimon, because they had like these little creatures, summon things, like they used for these battles. Yet, the one thing that C did that I found was smart and just brilliant was the fact that they did not crank the battles with the creatures, you know, with Mashio and all that. The fact that they did not do that, I was just like, you know, in my mind, I thought you could have cranked it. Tatsunoko Productions could have cranked those battles really, really, you know, just stretched out, but they didn't. It was just like, I show you the battle, one or two here, and we're done. Going on and concentrating more on the characters and the story. And I have to give them applause for that. You know, they could have done something that could have made it boring, but they didn't. The fact that it was all centered around finances, entrepreneurs, and all that, just the business world that, you know, most everyone doesn't really care about unless you're an accountant or someone who studied business yourself. The fact that it made everything unique and it related to real-world facts and practices and policies, with some discrepancies, of course. It was a really unique, enjoyable, and really exciting anime. The only downside to it, the only downside that I can say, honestly, to see, is that it was really, really short, and they rushed it a bit. You know, I just found that by about the 6th, 7th episode, they really started rushing things. It's just like, rush, 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 because I think there's just like, oh crap, we're not getting a second season, we have to explain everything as fast and as best as possible. So yeah, that's the only thing I can fault C for, which is, it rushed itself. But with 11 episodes, you can't do much. So again, thumbs up to C, go watch it, it's a really good anime. Next on the list is Denpa, Onna to Seishun, Otoko. The best way for me to talk about or describe this series, in my own personal view, you know, my own point of view, is just the fact that it is the most simple or basic, yet unique and stunning anime overall. You know, it is this anime I recommend definitely, like with Anohana and C. Definitely, you know, the top 3 best animes for spring 2011. Now, I came into Denpa Onna, you know, just like, oh god, there's gonna be another one of those boy meets girl stories. And it was, and it is. But the fact that it was such a simple story, you know, give or take, you know, the whole alien idea. The characters were each unique, and they're all lovable in their own way. I mean, I fell head over heels for Aria, and Makoto was not your standard, oh, I just want a normal life kind of dude. No, his goal, his overall character was that he wants to enjoy life to the fullest. And I was just like, this is really good. This is really good for a shonen character, well, for a boy character. And, you know, it was just really, really, really good. A really simple yet easy to follow story. And be it that is a Shaft anime, I could not believe how visually astounding and beautiful this anime was. I mean, oh my god! First episode, Aria takes off the futon, and it's just like... I was just like, man, this is almost like a slap to the face to Kyoto Animation, KyoAni. It's just like, hey, you're not the only studio that can do very beautiful, visually astounding animes. And I was just like, applause. Applause to Shaft. I mean, from the director who did Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei, totally outdid himself again for Denpa Onna to Seishun Otoko. Now, for Denpa Onna, the comedy that I found didn't come from the dialogue, but came from the environment and the situations themselves, which is what made this anime so entertaining. Well, more entertaining, you know, with the interesting characters. It was just the comedy came from the situations, not from the dialogue, which is pretty unique. Because, you know, if you say, like, Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei or Seikokai Yakuin Domo, the comedy came from the dialogue and not from the environment or situation. So again, thumbs up to Denpa Onna to Seishun Otoko. I totally recommend this anime. Next on the list is Dog Days. Now, Dog Days is an anime that is done by 7 arcs, majorly 7 arcs, and Aniplex. Now, be it that is a 7 arcs anime, I was expecting really grand, over-the-top kind of effects and animation, which they did. And, you know, because 7 arcs is a studio that did Magical Girl Lyrical Nonoha, and they always do visually astounding animation. Dog Days was as I expected. It was cliched, everything that you thought was gonna happen was gonna happen, the characters were nothing special, and the only saving grace was Mizuki Nana's opening. That was about it! I mean, Dog Days was nothing special, it was a meh anime. If I was to put this in terms of my anime list rating, it's a 6 out of 10, even a 5. I mean, in all honesty, it's just like, ugh. It was a really iffy anime. If you skip out on Dog Days, that's fine. You know, you don't really need to watch it. I mean, it wasn't disappointing, yet I wasn't expecting too much, so it's break even in the end. Next on the list is my final impressions of GOSICK. Now, I could have done a really big video of GOSICK final impressions and all that, but I didn't feel that I needed to because I believed I had already explained enough of it. I mean, some recurring themes were, you know, Kujo and Victorica were always split apart, yet always come back together, you know, that tension and all that. And overall, I did like GOSICK. Don't get me wrong, I did like GOSICK. But a drawback or something that I could take or I can gripe about GOSICK is the fact that they always seem to pull an answer, you know, out of a magical hat. You know, they always pulled it out of nowhere, or sometimes, you know, sometimes, if not most of the times. That's how I felt about it. And you know what, GOSICK, again, watch it, is a really good anime, really, really good. It's from winter 2011, yet ended in spring 2011. It's really good, but again, that whole Deus Ex Machina kind of thing going on, I could really gripe it for it. But overall, again, really good. You should go watch it. GOSICK, one of the best winter 2011 animes that ended in spring. Next on the list is Hidan no Aria. Now, I already did a final impressions or overall review of Hidan no Aria, but I never did go too much into the negativity, and that review just brought it out more on a brighter side. So, when I was talking to DK Josh 27, if you're watching this, bro, yeah, I totally agree with you. Now, the things that I could gripe about Hidan no Aria, which I didn't do too much in my review, is the fact that the characters were... they're less than likable. I mean, for me, I found they were fine enough. I mean, for others, people had a hard time relating to the characters. The plot and storyline and basis that was Hidan no Aria was really, really on thin ground. I mean, it was really thin ground. But overall, I enjoyed Hidan no Aria. I could see from another person's point of view that they did not like it. I mean, again, DK Josh 27, he totally despises this anime. It was that bad, and I can't hold him against that. So, from my point of view, I think you should watch Hidan no Aria. Otherwise, if you skip out on it, that's fine. Now, the last two animes are both visual novel-based animes, and I'm going to do a bit of a comparison, and it's going to be a bit of a doozy. But anyways, first one up is Hoshizora e Kakaru Hashi. Now, I came to Hoshizora e Kakaru Hashi just like, oh god, there's going to be another one of those visual novel animes in which guy comes into a village or location, meets girls, drama ensues, and it did. Hoshizora was... it had very immature dialogue. I mean, the comedy was very immature, and it was very slice of life. I mean, incredibly slice of life. But it did the one thing that most visual novel animes do not. I can only think of a select few that actually do this, which is it had conclusion and it had the main character hooking up with a heroine. So I totally give it props. I totally give Hoshizora props for, you know, having a main character hook up with a heroine in the end. Given it wasn't my favorite heroine. Son of a bitch. Could have hooked up with Ibuki, but no! But yes, Hoshizora e Kakaru Hashi, it was an average anime at best. I think I gave it a 6 or 7. And there's nothing too special about it. But at the same time, it had some conclusion, which is very, very weird for a 6 or 7 anime. Next one up is Oretachi ni Tsubasa wa nai. Now, Oretachi was a very, very unique anime. I mean, very, very unique. Overall, I thought it was just, you know, there wasn't a lot of romance to it. I mean, it was very drama, and you could sense a little bit of romance, but it was all like, it was all more majorly high school girl crush than true head over heels kind of romance love. And what really took me away for Oretachi was the fact that it was so hilarious. I mean, given the humor was very, you know, immature and, you know, grade schooler almost, but the humor was well placed. It was immature yet mature. It was immature humor for mature people. As mature as I can get. It was just the fact that not only was it visually good, visually it was good, but the dialogue at time was just hilarious. I couldn't help myself but laugh at times. So, Oretachi ni Tsubasa wa nai, the romance was lacking at most. But the dialogue and the uniqueness to this anime, you know, you have 3 main characters, that is one same person, and the fourth emperor, the Dark Emperor. Oh my god, that was hilarious. So, in comparison, Hoshizora e Kakaru Hashi to Oretachi ni Tsubasa wa nai. Hoshizora e provided us a conclusion, yet did not have strong dialogue or memorable characters. Oretachi ni Tsubasa wa nai did not have conclusion, yet had really, really funny dialogue, and the characters were pretty memorable. I mean, they were pretty memorable overall. As memorable as it can get. So, between the two, if I was to suggest one of them, Hoshizora, if you skip on it, that's fine. Oretachi, I guess you should. That's my personal opinion. But if you also skip it, that's fine. So overall, Spring 2011 animes, not bad. It had a good wow factor. I mean, the top 3 were Anohana, C, and Denpa Onna. So that was my overall final impressions of Spring 2011 animes. I hope you enjoyed this video. Rate, comment, subscribe. Suggest anything I should change. So this is StormKing signing off, saying read some manga, watch some anime, you'll like it, and I'll see you in the next video.